I'm Lisa Birnbach for Howdini.com. We've all heard people describe wines by the bouquet, the way it smells. But aren't you supposed to taste wine with your taste buds? Not really, according to wine expert Olivier Magny, a professional sommelier and owner of Au Chateau, a wine tasting destination in Paris. You taste wine with all your senses, don't you?
Absolutely. It has to be a sensual experience, really. The first thing, you can try to look at your wine first, and that's usually the first step. So first you want to hold your glass here by the stem.
Why?
First check. You don't want to heat up the wine. You don't want to leave marks. I have big fingers, so I always leave tons of marks. So first check, clarity. Okay, is the wine clear? So here, looks clear.
Looks
Good news.
clear.
Okay, white wine should be clear. Second step, try and play with the surface of your wine and see if light reflects on this. So is it a shiny wine? Is it a reflective wine? Or is it matte? So
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wine should be shiny?
I know, let's say it shouldn't be shiny, but the more shiny, the more reflective the wine looks, the more acidic it's going to taste, okay? So the more fresh, the more crisp it's going to taste on your palate.
Okay, now what? Do we swirl?
We can swirl next, absolutely.
Okay, now wait. Oh, that's like...
Oh, that's if you want to show off. If you're not comfortable doing this, you can, boom, swirl on the table. And after a while, you notice some things start dripping along your glass.
Yes.
Okay, those little things are called the legs.
But look at that.
See, so they're fairly skinny. See, those remain stuck on top. So the more legs, the thicker the legs and the faster, the more sugar, so the sweeter the wine. Here we don't have too many of them. Dry wine for sure.
Does the swirl open up the flavor too?
Absolutely, but that's in the second step when we're going to smell. First, let's smell it without swirling, okay?
Okay, let's do a non-swirl smell.
The NSS.
NSS.
Well, it smells good, quite fruity. Now we can swirl to let the wine breathe, okay? To lift up the aromatic molecules, which are very, very volatile. So they're going to come and get stuck on top of your glass. And if you smell again,
it smells better.
Stronger, it's more intense, everything is more open.
Right.
Voilà. So that's the point of the other point itself, swirling. There's two things to identify one. One is the grape, and in the US, that's really very much how people tend to identify the wine. You buy Merlot, Chardonnay, Cabernet Sauvignon. And the other thing which tends to prevail in Europe is the origin. Okay, so here, the grape in this wine, we're headed towards the Sauvignon Blanc grapes, which always make these fresh
Sauvignon Blanc
fruit crisp wines, and we are in the other, besides France, country for Sauvignon Blanc, New Zealand.
Okay, when do we get to taste it?
Just right now. Cheers.
Okay.
Santé.
Cheers. Santé.
It's pretty much the same technique for the whites and the reds. Of course, the whole clarity thing is less easy to do. One little thing which is interesting, which I didn't mention for the whites, if you look at your wine from above, if you look at the very edge of the wine, where the wine meets the glass, well, just put your hand underneath, and you'll notice that the very last millimeter is slightly lighter.
Yes.
Slightly purple, pink, transparent.
It's more translucent than the rest.
Absolutely.
Why?
Alors, this is due to oxidation, okay, which sounds like a very technical term. It's not. Oxidation is what happens when a wine ages, okay? The oxygen of the air comes in through the cork and is going to attack the chemical structure of the wine, making wine taste different, okay? Oxidation. Okay, so here, if you see a big color difference between that little edge, which is called the meniscus, and the center of your wine, I mean, there has been a lot of oxidation already, old wine. If you don't see too much of a color difference, we're looking at a young one. Here it's not striking.
Does it affect the value or the taste?
Both.
Both.
The taste will evolve. It's a bit of a misconception that wine in general gets better. Good wines will get better. Most wines are not meant to get better. And usually the price tends to go up as your wine gets older too.
Alors,
Santé.
santé. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Lisa.
Good for breakfast.
Absolutely.
For Howdini.com, I'm Lisa Birnbach.